Hey y'all, it's Joey Richardson. Today I'm going to do a movie review on Major League from 1989. Now this is one of my favorites, and it's about a team of misfits who are put together for a team to finish dead last. The owner's dad and the showgirl wife or ex-wife is to be the owner. Now she wants the team to finish dead last so they can relocate to Miami, where she already has the paperwork where she can build a better team. So yeah, she's got the paperwork for all that, and to get out of Cleveland, to get a team built, and all this incentive. So she puts together a list of people who are either unknown or past their primes or never had a prime. Now some of these guys are like Ricky Wilding Vaughn, played by Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger's character, Jake Taylor, and manager Lou Brown, portrayed by James Gammon, to have the team. And then you got Dennis Haysbert, the All-State guy, playing uh, Serrano. Now, now you got these misfits who are put together. And oh yeah, Wesley Snipes plays Willie Mays Hayes. So these people are basically put together. Although Willie May Hayes was not on the list, they found out quickly that he can run, and they want him on the team. But little do they know, he can't hit. Wilding can pitch fast, but he can't control his pitches. And then you got Jake Taylor, who has bad knees and cannot throw to second. And Roger Dorn, played by Corbin Burnson, he he can't field, but he can hit. So those are some players' weaknesses. And Serrano can hit the straight ball, fastball. He can't hit curveballs. So those are some issues with some of the main characters. So while these are fits throughout the movie, you'll find out that Wilding starts wearing glasses and can control his fastball better. Jake Taylor eventually can make the throw to second. And Dorn starts fielding, which does become a play when they have to clinch first place. And then you'll see that Serrano gets the pitch he wants and he hits it out. And then Dorn, he gets off to a slow start but bats consistently well. So this team starts off 15-24, and the owner is not happy. So she thinks she's cuddling them too much. So she starts taking things away from them, or giving them equipment that's not working all the time, that she has to keep fixing, and they just get tired of it. And she wants them to lose, so she's doing everything she can to make them lose. But they want to win despite her. Even the GM, played by Charles Cyphers. The GM's name is Charlie Donovan, close to his real name, at least first name. But he wants them to win. He doesn't care about losing like she does. He's actually on board with the team wanting to win. So that's why he's actually a pretty good guy, despite being GM to the owner that's very toxic. And they decide, well, we got to just win it all, just win the division, despite her, and they agree. All the teams are on board. Now they do get off the season off to a slow start. Like I say, but eventually they do have a rough road trip as well. But they start turning it around, and one of the characters that's not really too much of a main character, but he's a veteran pitcher. His last name's Harris. He tells Serrano, who is a voodoo worshiper, that he should be thinking about taking Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, which Harris is a Christian, and Serrano explains, I like Jesus very much, but he no help with the curveball. But yeah, and then Harris wants to pray, and Dorn's like not all for it, even though Dorn's friends with Harris. the religion of Harris, I guess, is too much for Dorn to handle. But yeah, but Jake Taylor, he's pretty much everybody's friend. He even takes Wild Thing under his wing. And oh yeah, and what I forgot in the upload that ended up being too long is Jake Taylor pursues this woman that he had dated already. But the fact is, he's back in Cleveland. He wants to be with her again. And eventually, he does get his way with her. And it's a long story, and you'll just have to watch and see how it goes. Because yeah, it's tough. Because the guy's a real jerk towards him. But she ends up leaving the guy for him. So yeah, we're just gonna try to make this review shorter than my last attempt, so that I couldn't upload because I went 30 seconds over the limit. So anyways, so these Misfits are actually playing well together, and they actually end up in a first place tie with the New York Yankees, who Ricky Walding Vaughn has struggled with. Now, he ain't. So Haywood has hit 2 homers off of him. So they decide not to start Wilding Vaughn and to start Harris in that game. That's to see who gets in the playoffs and who doesn't. So Harris pitches a beauty. He ends up in the ninth inning with a tied ball game. It was a 2-2 tie going into ninth, and Harris walks a guy to load the bases after giving up a single and a double. And so Ricky Walding Vaughn's, which I like, is the song Walding starts playing, like the woman version of Joan Jett. Like her version starts playing when he's walking out to get to the mound. And it's really cool that, they play that song throughout the movie. I mean, it is pretty good, but anyways, he goes out to the mound and he is like looking at Roger Dorn because supposedly the night before the game, she had caught Dorn on TV with another woman. Suzanne Dorn, the wife, had caught his Roger with a woman on TV. So she gets back at him by dressing up differently, like a look that would impress Ricky Walding Vaughn. And she sleeps with Walding. And then Jake Taylor goes into the bedroom and he's like, I didn't know. Walding did not know that was Suzanne Dorn. And so he avoids Roger before the game, and when he finally gets to the mound, Roger Dorn, he takes some warm-up pitches, and Dorn walks into us saying, only got one thing to say to you, strut this MFer out. And he hands the ball back to Ricky Walding Vaughn, and Jake Taylor's standing up like he's going to have to step in, but he doesn't. So Haywood's the batter. And oh yeah, 3 straight fastballs, each velocity increased every pitch, with the last one being 101 miles per hour to get the out. So 3 straight pitches, 3 straight strikes. Just give them the heaters, what the manager wanted. Forget all that slow crap or the curveball, whatever. Someone can be fast, someone can be slow. Depends on how good of an arm you got. But now, anyways, so they have to get the winning run, which Hayes leads off to get on base. So then it's Jake Taylor's turn, who calls a shot once, and the Duke, who comes out, he's supposed to be a good closer or whatever, and he nearly hits Jake Taylor with a pitch, but Jake Taylor dodges the pitch to avoid being hit. Jake Taylor calls a shot again, and the pitcher's like, okay. So he does call a shot again, but this time he bunts it, making it difficult for the infielders to get. And Jake Taylor barely beats out the throw, but Hayes had stolen second prior to Jake Taylor's bunt. So he stole second before the bunt, and he's off to their rounding to go home. And after Jake Taylor beats up the throw, they realize they got to get the ball to the catcher to avoid Hayes getting a game-winning run. In a close call, Hayes is safe, and the Indians win to clinch the division. So what? So with me having more time now, what did I like? Well, I did like I already mentioned. I like how Wild Thing played. It wasn't the Trials version, but Joan Jett's version. I like some of the lines I can't really quote, but they're funny. A lot of funny lines that I can't quote due to language, but there's the owner just trying to make them lose, but she realizes she's not doing it. And then you got the team who struggles at first, and yes, there's some fights that go on at first, but they learn how to play together, and they eventually. But oh yeah, when they do win and celebrate, Roger Dorn goes up to Rick Vaughn, and Roger Dorn punches him, but then Dorn picks him right back up, and they're just celebrating like nothing happened. I guess Dorn knew he had messed up, and that's why that situation happened, which she did tell him before his game what had happened with Valdine, so I guess he knew she had gotten even with him. But but then Jake Taylor finds out the ring is off and that he has his dream woman again, which they were athletes at one point. She was a swimmer, he's a baseball player, but she had become a librarian and didn't want to be with an athlete anymore. But she realized Jake Taylor was a changed man and still loved him. She still loved him despite the fact that he was an athlete. But she finally realized Jake Taylor was the man to be with. So yeah, there's that. I mean, Pedro Serrano does get a home run in that winning game when it's 2-0 Yankees. Doran leads off to anyone to hit, or was it 2 outs or something like that? Doran gets a hit, and then Pedro Serrano hits a home run with a straight ball. Sometimes you get the pitch you want, you gotta hit it. I mean, you gotta take advantage of a pitch that you can hit, and he did there. So everybody who had weaknesses, it did get worked out. Everybody was able to work on their weaknesses, and that's what helped them win the division and all that. So it's a great movie. You should really watch it, and hopefully y'all will enjoy it if y'all ever watch it. I mean, I had gotten Major League from this FYE in Valdosta Mall, which they closed FYE unfortunately, but you can still order it online, even though that movie store in Valdosta Mall closed. But anyways, I hope you guys liked this review. I mean, I really think having to redo it after going 30 seconds over, I think I did really good. And oh yeah, and there's no way she's gonna be able to relocate to Miami after they won the division. So let's just say she didn't get her way. That toxic owner. It's unfortunate for her, but it was fortunate for the rest of the guys. And even though she threatened to cut the entire team if they didn't finish dead last, well, part 2 to be continued. Thank you all for tuning in, and you can like, subscribe. I'd appreciate it to get some more support. Thank you all. Until next time, goodbye.